Yeah, say what you. I know it wasn't gonna work for me. Hosea 12 and 10. Nigga, you only feel like that because your mama bought you that shirt. See, and Lizzie agrees.
Loud and proud. That's what it says.
I ain't never had no birthday shirt.
Yeah.
I ain't really care about my birthday.
The
Really
day of mourning when you was born.
Yes, it should be a day of mourning everybody born. That's what the words say. I have also spoken by the prophets. And I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So let's go around here to Ezekiel chapter 18. And let's see what similitude we can get this week. Ezekiel chapter 18 and about verse 5. Yep. I want y'all to start on about verse 4 though. Behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinned, it shall die. Because remember what we read Wednesday, God is not mocked. You sow under your flesh, you going to reap your flesh. You commit sin, you going to die. But if a man be just, and do that which is lawful and right, and have not eaten upon the mountains, neither have lifted up his eyes to the idols of the house of Israel, neither have defiled his neighbor's wife, neither have come near to a menstruous woman, and have not oppressed any, but have restored to the debtor his pledge, and have spoiled none by violence, have given his bread to the hungry, and have covered the naked with a garment. He have not given forth upon usury, neither have taken any increase, that have withdrawn his hand from iniquity, and have executed true judgment between man and man, have walked in my statutes, and have kept my judgments to deal truly. He is just. He shall surely live, saith Yah. So now when we look at this, what come to y'all mind as you heard some of these things or what we just looked at here? What come to anybody's mind? Yeah, and true indeed. True indeed. But now we sit back and we look at it. It just said if a man be just. We should already know when we heard that what this should be telling us about. Because it says the soul of the man who sinned is going to die. Now he said if a man be just. So now we're going to have to look again and determine who is this just man. Because it said if a man be just. Now what's a sinner favorite verse to use to say you can never stop sinning? Israelites love to use it. And had a nerve to talk about a Christian. What's that favorite verse they like to use? We went through it a while back. Who remembers? Well, he does. He done quoted in Romans 8:12. He quotes it in Romans chapter 3. But King Solomon told you in Ecclesiastes 7:20, there's not a just man upon the earth to do it good, now is it? And sin not. But now Ezekiel is telling you that if there's a just man that do that which is lawful and right. Let's go look at an example of a man like that in 1 Samuel who didn't take no ushery. Because he said if he begat sons that had robbers. I'll say about 1 Samuel chapter 13. Well, not 13. I think 9 come to mind, but let me see what I want. 1 Samuel chapter 12. I was off one chapter. See, I sit back and look at it. When I got out of prison, like, I still had some stuff. And all that stuff that I had, the Lord caused it to be ruined. Well, I couldn't have it no more. Even a little bit of money that I had left in the bank, because I had money in the bank. And I let my cousin get power of attorney over it as I got closer to getting out. So that basically they wouldn't have to send me nothing. I used my own money. I still had money in there. And the Lord made a way for something I went and did to cut that money off. That all ties and everything that I had dealing with before I got with the word had to be separated from. See, a lot of y'all still got stuff. It don't just got to be monetary. It's stuff that from your previous dealings and doing, you still got ties with. And you might need want to get rid of that stuff. 1 Samuel chapter 12 verse 1. And Samuel said unto Israel, behold, I have hearkened unto your voice, and all that ye said unto me, and have made a king over you. And now behold, the king walked before you, and I'm old and gray-headed, and behold, my sons are with you. But I've walked before you from my childhood unto this day. And behold, here I am, witness against me before Yah and before his anointed. Whose ox have I taken? Or whose ass have I taken? Or whom have I defrauded? Whom have I oppressed? Whose hand have I received any bribe to blind my eyes therewith, and I will restore it to you. And they said, Thou hast not defrauded us, nor oppressed us, neither hast thou taken aught of any man's hand. And he said unto them, Yah is witness against you, and anointed is witness this day, that you have not found aught in my hand. And they answered, He is witness. Do you keep noticing how he kept saying his anointed? You think he was talking about Saul? He talking about his son. The father and the son is with. Because guess what? How that's going to work? His anointed. That means how many witnesses you got to have? What the law say? 2 or 3. He just said bear witness. He said Yah and his son would bear witness. I ain't did this. But you sat back and you noticed one thing he said. He said, who receipt gave me a bribe to blind my eyes therewith? Remember what we looked at Wednesday about not taking a gift because it pervert the words of the righteous? You know what I'm talking about? You sit back and look at them people came up here, they try to bring, you think you could bring the preacher something, you could bring him this here, he'll tell you what you want. He'll tell you what you want here. But you see the key thing in what he said? He said, who have oppressed in it? He said, if a man be just, he said he ain't oppressed in it. Samuel just came back and said, I ain't oppressed nobody. Which one of y'all can say I did? That man said, if I defrauded you, who gonna be able to come up and say, you did that, let me get that out your hand? See, let's look at something the Lord told these people in John chapter 8, verse 37. Then we can look at Acts chapter 10. Because you remember, y'all know what Solomon said about oppression, what oppression do? Any of y'all know what Solomon said oppression do? He said, surely oppression make a wise man mad. Make a wise man mad. Don't you always notice, we done dealt with this before, don't you notice how angry the Lord used to get when he would see these people being oppressed and the scribes and Pharisees would say something about him healing them? He'd get very angry. You can actually read that in Mark the 3rd chapter when he got angry at the hardness of their hearts. Make it verse 39 though, of John the 8th chapter. Well, 37 is good. You put that on line for me. And 37. He said, I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me because my word have no place in you. This go back to what I was talking to y'all about after we got finished Wednesday. See, you have a lot of Israelites scream about we Abraham's seed. They really don't scream about being Abraham's seed more so than they scream about being Jacob's seed. You know what I'm saying? Scream about being an Israelite. But they don't sit back and look at, y'all never told you, look at Isaiah 51:1. Y'all never told you to look at Jacob. That's nothing against our father Jacob. But you'll never really read him when he's telling you to go back and look at Jacob. I want you to read Isaiah 51:1. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness. Ye that seek Yah, look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. Look unto Abraham your father, and Sarah that bare you, for I called him alone, and blessed him, and increased him. Now we'll look at something. In this instance, we see it talking about Abraham and Sarah, naturally. But if we look at it spiritually, who would this be referring to? You know what Abraham's name means exalted father. This go to something we just looked at last week. But how so? It just go to something we just looked at last week. I'll narrow it down. We read it in Judges the 17th chapter. What did we read about in Judges 17 just last week? We read about a priest, a Levite from Bethlehem, Judea, that came under Micah. What did Micah ask this man to be to him? Who remember what he be to him a father? Now we know if we be born of the word, we will be born of Yahshua. We know from Isaiah 9:6. What did it call Yahshua in Isaiah 9:6? It said he would be called the everlasting Father. So now if we look at this instance, because it said, look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and the pit from which ye are digged, and look unto Abraham your father and Sarah that bare you. So when we look at Sarah in this instance, who would Sarah represent? Because it said, look to your father and then look to your mother. So who would it be? Well, let's see how we've hewn from this rock in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. Then we'll look at the pit which you would dig from. Then we'll look at Abraham your father and then Sarah your mother. Oh boy. Moreover, 1 Corinthians 10 and 1, everybody. 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that you should be ignorant, that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and all were baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat that spiritual meat, and did all drink that same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was the Messiah. So that's the rock whence we were hewn. You should remember that from the rock that they were split. I want y'all to look at something now. But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. What you think the biggest thing that our people lust after in this country? What y'all think the biggest thing niggas lust after in this country? Huh? Money. Let's look at 1 Timothy 6 and 10. Reason why I come to mind, because this every nigga favorite time of year. First Timothy 6 and 9. Matter of fact, make it 6 and 5. I'm for real. I was just talking to y'all about that. Wednesday last week, some of the stuff I never thought to do none of that stuff for a tax check. Well, niggas go crazy for a tax check. And it's Valentine's Day too. No, some of y'all. How many of y'all know where Valentine's Day come from? I want to see. It's Lupercalia. Any of y'all know what Lupercalia means? You know, y'all should know. If you hear Luper, you know what that is. A loop, you know what that is.
Oh, like lube, something black sex.
No, it's wolf. It's dogs. What them people used to do was they would take a dog, kill it, and do freaky nasty stuff with dog blood. And they would have all manner of wild sex orgies. Boy on boy.
Good sex.
Girl on girl. You know what I'm saying? Swinging. All type of stuff. And people just sit back. It's somebody I grew up with. She said, I love Valentine's Day. I always have and I always will. And I'm like, and you going to go to hell loving it too. And the worst part is, if somebody could show her that, she don't care. Because all she going to look back here, I want my chocolates and my gift. That stuff ain't worth going to hell for. I'm talking about, man, I wouldn't want nothing to do with Valentine's Day, period. Don't mention it to me. I ain't finna, don't say, I'm not, man, don't break for what? All that, you shouldn't wait for all that stuff niggas coming copping out with. You should love your mate every day of the year, not just, man, screw all that stuff, man. These people gonna do what they want to do. If these niggas want to go buy their wife or they fornicating partner big old bears and chocolate, well, let the people do what they want to do. Who cares? You beating them across the head, ain't gonna do nothing with it. Get what? Every last one of y'all done came at some family member or friend about these holidays, telling them all this stuff, and guess what they did? Kept on doing it. So you felt like the dummy. Man, they don't want to accept this truth. I don't know what's wrong with them. I've been showing them. But guess what? Y'all ain't sat back and realized this thing ain't for everybody. Hold on. Luke 13 and 24. I'm going to let the Lord tell y'all this here. That's why y'all need to learn to leave people alone. That's why the man said, if any man have an ear, let him hear. If they can't hear, it's because it's not for them. And you going to make them get it. Luke 13 and 24. Just listen to what the Lord said now. You fight with him about it. You don't like what I said. You fight with him about it. Matter of fact, make it 22. And he went through the cities and villages teaching and journeying towards Jerusalem. Then said one unto him, Lord, are there few that be saved? And he said unto them, strive to enter in at the straight gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in, and shall not be able. Now what y'all gonna do with that? What you think he just told you right then? Everybody ain't gonna make it. Come on back to 1 Timothy 6 and 10, or 6 and 5. Everybody not gonna make it. Everybody not gonna make it. So while you around here want to talk about, man, I've been talking about my people about Valentine's Day and Christmas, they still want to celebrate it. And you steady talking to them, so guess what that make you about it? You don't. Books say first admonition, second admonition, third admonition, reject. You don't keep talking to somebody. Even the Lord told the disciples, if they won't hear you, dust your feet off on them as a testimony and kiss them and go your way. One thing about this word, man, y'all ain't never did this. And he never will do it. He sent his prophets and his preachers and his teachers because he have compassion on his dwelling place, which is his people, that they might turn and be saved. But y'all ain't never gonna make nobody do something or just be beaten across your head to get you to do something. Because the Lord done told you, if you forsake me, I'll forsake you. If you don't want to hear it, well, screw you then, nigga. That's how your God operate. Why y'all can't operate like that? That's how he operate. You don't want to do this? Well, fine. It's cool. No love lost. It's your loss because I'm out of here. See, y'all don't have that mind. Man, I'm going to tell you something. And we're going to look at a little bit of this, the Lord permit. The most hardest, most difficult thing for people to do is forsake their family for salvation. I know it's not easy. I know your flesh be like, man, the people you care about going to hell. And this, that, there, and the other. And I know y'all hear me talk about it. You be like, he sounds so cold and so callous. Because my emotions are not involved. See, y'all emotions be involved. Your feeling, because y'all always, some of y'all biggest mistake that y'all always spit out your mouth is, I feel. Anytime you say, I feel, that's carnal. You might not like to hear that. But when you're dealing with feelings, you're dealing with emotions. Emotions are of the flesh. That's not of the spirit. Look, let's see, I'm going to tell you something. When I seen my homeboy died, I was sad because he was dead because I wasn't going to see him no more. I wasn't sad because I knew he was going to hell. I know he was going to hell. Only thing I can sit and think about is, boy, if the Lord would have allowed me a chance to sit him down and he'd have caught hold of the word and wanted to walk in it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I wasn't sad because he died. Because that's my nigga. I grew up with him. Known this man almost 25 years. You know what I'm talking about? Real good friend of mine. Love him. At the same time, I know he was a sinner though. And I ain't sitting there like, man, that's horrible that happened to him. First thing I looked at, that's the Lord will. He kill, he make alive. He give, he take away. So unfortunately for him, he died without the spirit. Ain't nothing wrong with me saying, man, I wish I could see my nigga one more time. But I'm not though. So y'all deal with that till you go to feeling bad. Oh man. Lord have mercy. This is the part some of y'all kill me with. Somebody y'all know was a sinner died, and you'll still try to convince yourself they not going to hell, and you know they going. And the only reason why you would do that because you trying to convince yourself you not going. Because you know you were doing stuff worthy of death yourself, or are doing stuff that's worthy of death. So you want to try to convince. How in the world is you going to try to convince yourself someone you know is a sinner going to make it? And you know the word say otherwise. Don't say that I say otherwise. You know this book say otherwise. You got to suck that up. Just got to put that in your pipe and smoke it. Right or wrong. Then you got to sit back and look at, man, I wouldn't care. And I done told some of y'all this before. My cousin stayed right around the corner. Me and my cousin for the first 5 years of our life were raised together. You know what I'm talking about? That if you wouldn't have told us we wasn't brother or sister, we wouldn't have known the difference. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real. Like we were raised, my mama and my auntie, they lived together for the first 5 years of our life. We were raised together. We only 9 months apart. I love my cousin. I'm talking about, shoot. If I wouldn't go to hell for a nigga try it right now, I cut his throat. Nigga better not try her or her turn. At the same time, she don't walk in this world. I can't go see my cousin like that. Y'all have no idea how much it would rejoice my soul if the Lord opened my cousin's heart and say, you know what? I've been thinking about some of that stuff. I seen one of them videos you be posting one time, and I went and clicked on it and looked at it, and it was interesting to me. I'd like to hear more. Don't you know how would that make? How you think that? You know how that make me feel, woman. That would rejoice my soul greatly. But if the Lord don't choose to do that, I can't lose no sleep out there. Even before the Lord touched my sister hard to do it. Anybody who knows me know how I feel about my sister. He would have touched her heart. The hell she was going, I wouldn't have shed no tear about it. I'd have been like, hey, that's not a choice. But he decided to touch her heart, and I say, thank the Lord. I appreciated that. But I also knew one thing. That my sister looked up to me from her infancy, and that whatever I did, she wanted to do, and all I had to do was do this, and she would want to do it. But am I lying, though? Yeah. Infancy, yeah, off the rip. Off the rip. So I know, man, look here, man. If me and Mo, they were talking about this here, man. It don't matter whether the twins, whether the kids 4-5 years apart, 2-3 years apart. If one of them siblings show that type of love, they got a link now. Look at Leah and Lizzie. They linked now. And they got about a year on each other. They linked. When I sat back, when I heard Leah say, Lizzie, come on, and she knew Lizzie was in that crib. She like, I can't be going nowhere. And Lizzie, she knew Lizzie wasn't behind us. She literally turned around and looked and said, Lizzie, come on. You know what I'm saying? Same way, man, shoot, I used to cringe when you used to get a whooping. And I was about 11, 12, 13 years old. I used to have to leave the house. Straight up. I had to walk out the door. I don't even want to see it or hear it. It's like I'm getting hit. It'd be like that. You know what I'm talking about? That's my people. I love them. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like that. I know it's hard for y'all, man. But I'm telling you, man, you better be careful with your people. Not once am I ever telling you not to go see your people. Just be careful. You got to be careful. You can't do the things you used to do with them all the time. I remember when you and Dale first started dealing with this, cause was mad one. She felt like I'm losing the two people and mad with me. I ain't did nothing. But the stuff that you and Nell used to do her, y'all couldn't do it no more. She couldn't understand it at the first because it had nothing to do with her. It just, well, we still love you, but I can't do what we used to do with you. No, I had to separate. So y'all don't sit back and realize that you have to separate. A lot of y'all don't want to do that. First Timothy 6 and 5. Make it 3. If any man teach otherwise, 1 Timothy 6 and 3. If any man teach otherwise, consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Yahshua HaMashiach, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness. So if any man teach contrary to the word and don't want to consent to wholesome or good words that come from the Lord, that's what the book says. He's proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strife of words, whereof come envy, strife, railings, and evil surmising. See, that happened the other day when I seen these brothers going back and forth with a dude when he asked, is it a sin for two women to have sex with one another? That's one of them talking about it don't say in the law, it just say don't lay with a man. You ain't even supposed to dignify that with a response. Is it a sin to masturbate? Is it a sin to do this? And you sit back, I know some people be sincerely wanting to know, but then you got some men, if you tell them this and they don't consent that you know what, that's right, oh see brother, you speaking your opinion, you supposed to leave the people alone. Because look what usually happens, and some of y'all can tell from y'all being on Facebook, you see it, what happens, strife of words, then niggas be envious with each other, it be evil, niggas be thinking evil thoughts, it be railing, niggas call each other all type of names, being disrespectful, talking about what they gonna do to somebody. Man, I told you, don't do that. Listen what he say here in verse 5. Perverse disputing of men of corrupt mind, destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw thyself. Some of y'all got people on your page that post them little pictures of people holding big money and say type amen and God will give you a blessing. Some of y'all done thought like that. Some of y'all got family members who think like that. That if you get blessed with a whole bunch of money, God got to be with you. The book just told you, get away from it. If you think because you get an increase financially, that means you godly and God is with you, you are an idiot. Don't take that as saying that God can't increase your financial situation, because we know, look at Deuteronomy chapter 20 if I'm not mistaken. Don't get that twisted now. I don't want y'all to sit back and say that I'm trying, because the Lord can increase your situation now. Make sure that Deuteronomy 20 that I want. It might not be. I'm trying to remember. I just was showing them this the other day and it escaped my mind. Well, let's look at Deuteronomy 20. Let me see where it is that I want. Make it Joshua 1 and 8. It's escaping my mind every time. Because we know the law says it's y'all that give you, it's Deuteronomy chapter 8. Thank the Lord. He brought it right on back in mind. It's Deuteronomy chapter 8. Deuteronomy chapter 8, let's look at verse 7. Yah thy God bring thee into a good land, a land of brooks of water and fountain of depths that spring out of the valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of oil, olive, and honey, a land wherein thou shalt eat bread without scarceness. Thou shalt not lack in anything in it, a land whose stones are iron and out of hills, whose hills thou may dig brass. When thou art eaten and art full, thou shalt bless Yah thy God for the good land which he hath given thee. He say, beware that thou forget not Yah thy God, and not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses, and dwelt therein, and when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, that then thy heart be lifted up, and thou forget Yah thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage, who led thee through great and terrible, and who led thee through that great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint, who fed thee in the wilderness with manna, which thy fathers knew not, that he might humble thee, that he might prove thee, to do thee good at thy latter end. And thou say in thy heart, my power and the might of my hand have gotten me this wealth. But thou shalt remember Yah thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. That's what you have to sit back and remember. It's Yah that allow you the ability to earn. Who can we look at and see which one of our forefathers Yah gave him the ability to get wealth? Isaac would be a good choice, but not who we looking for. Let's look at Genesis chapter 13. Indeed, he did give Joseph the ability to get wealth. Let's look at Genesis 13 and 1. Wasn't who I was thinking of, because remember, we're supposed to be looking to Abraham. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him to the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle and in silver and in gold. Ain't that funny that you see Abraham coming up out of Egypt, he and his wife? And remember what Egypt means? Bondage. So we see the exalted father and his wife coming up out of bondage. So come on back to Genesis 14 and about verse 17. Make it 15. 13 is better. And there came one that escaped and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshau, brother of Aner, and these were confederate with Abram. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot, and his goods, and the woman also, and the people. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings which were with him, at the valley of Shavah, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine. He was the priest of the Most High God, and he blessed him. And blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered thy enemies into thy hand, and he gave them tithes of all. Now, we sit back and look at the wealth that he got from these people. Y'all caused him to get it, didn't it? And then not only that, what I have mentioned in Deuteronomy 20, which we're going back to, because in Deuteronomy 20, it said it's Yah thy God who go to fight for you and destroy your enemies. And we see that Yah did that for Abraham. So when we sit back and we look at Abraham, we see Abraham knew, because he said, look to your father. Abraham knew where his wealth came from. It came from Yah. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all had to sit back and look at the same thing. We're looking at, look to Abraham, your father. Just because you may not get the gain monetarily that you desire, don't mean that God is not with you. Because the man just told you, don't think gain is godliness. Don't think just because you got some money, God is with you. He just said if you think like that, you are perverse and you are corrupt. Some of y'all, come on back to 1 Timothy chapter 6. Some of y'all better be careful with that money, man. Money and sex going to be a lot of reason why a lot of people go to hell. We just want to look at that to remember. Abraham realized something. He realized Yah is one who allowed me to get what I got. You know what I'm talking about? We have to realize it doesn't matter whether it's small or whether it's great. Whatever you got, Yah gave you the ability to get it. Then on top of that, whatever you got, take care of it. I'm talking about your clothes, your cars, your apartments, your houses, your furniture, your electronics. Take care of it. If God gave you the ability to get it, watch over it. Matter of fact, hold on. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Is it 1 Corinthians chapter 2? Let me see if that's what I want. Find here what I want. Make it 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 1. Remember what we looked at in Luke? Where he said if you ain't been faithful with another man, who's going to commit to your trust the true riches? Y'all remember that? Listen to what he tells you. 1 Corinthians 4 and 1. He say, let a man so account of us as of the ministers of the Messiah and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. This is number one thing mess a lot of these dudes up because they want to teach. See, a steward watches over somebody else's goods. When you watch over somebody else's good, this man says you got to be found faithful. Well, if the Lord has allowed you to get wealth of the things that you possess, then you need to be found faithful and watch over it. Don't just be tossing your stuff all around, treating it any kind of way. You know what I'm talking about? If the man look here. The stuff the Lord let me get, I try to keep it in best quality shape as possible. You know what I'm talking about? Because he allowed me to get it. You could be around here looking crazy, looking stank. And you should teach your kids to do the same thing. You should look after all the stuff you got. Treat it properly. Because I'm saying the same way the man give it to you, he can take it back from you. Come on back to 1 Timothy 6 and where we at? About verse 5. That's why he say you got to be careful about lusting after evil things. See, some of y'all lusting after some of the stuff y'all lusting after. That's why it's going to be the reason you go to hell. Because you lusting after that. Your lust ain't for the Lord. You saying that out your mouth. But we can look at Ezekiel 33 and he tell you, with your mouth you show much love, but your heart go after your covetousness. See, a lot of y'all, you show a lot. That's in Ezekiel 33. We can look at it in a minute. I just was referencing it. We can look at it in a minute. Just hold on. Verse 5 again of 1 Timothy 6. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and are destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself. But godliness with contentment is great gain. See, that's what y'all look at. Being godly, or basically being a son of God, and being content with what you have, that's greater gain than I want. That's why he say you earn wages to put it in a bag with holes. Some of y'all wonder why y'all make so much money. It seems like I'm making so much money. I can't get ahead. Haggai 1 and 5. I'll let the Lord tell you. Then we'll look at Ezekiel 33. I'll let the Lord tell you. Somewhere or another we get back around here to Ezekiel 18. Somewhere or another we got to make it all work together. Haggai 1 and 5. Make it 3. Matter of fact, just make it 1 and 1. Y'all alright? Haggai 1:1. In the second year of Darius the king, in the 6th month, in the 1st day of the month, came the word of Yah by Haggai the prophet unto Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua the son of Jehozadak, the high priest, saying, Thus speaketh Yah of hosts, this people say, the time does not come, the time that Yah's house should be built. That's how some of y'all feel. Time ain't come for me to change my life, get my mind right, and stop playing. Time ain't came yet. Let's see what the Lord say. Then came the word of Yah by Haggai the prophet, saying, Is it time for you, O ye to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste? Now therefore thus saith Yah of hosts, consider your ways. You have sown much and bring in little. Niggas say you niggas work a lot, don't bring in nothing. He say you eat, but you have not enough. Say you always eat, but ain't not enough food in the house. You drink, but you not filled. Say you just drunk a bottle of water, you still thirsty. He said, you're clothed, but there's none warm. And he that earn wages to put it in a bag with holes. Thus said Yahweh, consider your ways. So a lot of y'all wonder, it don't always be now. I ain't gonna say 100% of the time, but for some of y'all, you wonder why stuff don't go your way. The man just told you why. Why don't you consider your ways? Because we just look what Paul told us in 1 Corinthians 10, right? He said you shouldn't lust after evil things. That's what he was sitting here telling these people. How about you consider your ways while my house lay waste? When we sit here, he talking about the actual temple. But then we sit back and look at 2 Corinthians chapter 6. And verse 16. Y'all hear me? Look at 2 Corinthians 6 and 16. That's how some of y'all live. Y'all house is excellent. And you know it. I'm talking about the shutters broke, the gutters need cleaning, you need a new paint job. I'm talking about just stuff. Just type of one of them houses say that house need to be condemned. Y'all know what it is. Well, some of y'all don't know because y'all from the country. Some of y'all know what it is living in the city. You ride past a house, you just look at it, they call it blight. You just look at it, face just frown up. They need to tear that house down. Why is that thing even up? Can't nobody live in that. Mold all in the ceiling. What agreement have the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them. I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye separate, saith Yah, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you. And ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith Yah Almighty. Some of y'all commit sin because y'all won't come up from amongst these people and be separate. You steady touch the unclean thing, and you don't consider your way. That man just sat back and told you, you sow a lot, you bring in a little bit. You eat, you ain't never got enough. You drink, you ain't never filled with drink. You clothe, you steady cold. You earn money, it's in a bag hole. You know what happened when you put money in the bag, and you got a hole in your pocket, right? And you put some money in there. What happened when you got a hole in your pocket and you lose it? And you wonder why, some of you niggas wonder why you keep losing. And you notice the first thing he said before he said that? Consider your ways. And what was the last thing he said? Consider your ways. A lot of y'all don't consider your ways. Why you think you can't get wealth and you can't prosper? It ain't necessarily just being wealth. You wonder why stuff don't go your way. Consider your ways. Because you lust after evil things. We done looked at, have we not recently looked at what these people did in the wilderness as an example, not to lust after evil things? And you niggas still do it. I say nigga because that's what a nigga would do. A Jew wouldn't do that. A Jew would be content with godliness and be like, whether I got little or whether I got much. Praise y'all. Come on back to 1 Timothy chapter 6. Y'all hear me though? Somebody here. Somebody talk to me. Back to 1 Timothy chapter 6, and we in verse 6 again. 1 Timothy 6 and 6. But godliness with content is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it's certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction. and perdition. I know this from being in the street. Delta can tell you this from playing in the National Football League. Some of y'all don't realize, this is what we were talking about last week, why you wonder why the Lord don't let y'all get certain money and stuff. Because it's going to come up with snares, it's going to take you into lust, and it's going to take you down. I done seen when you got access to more money, you can do more things that weren't necessarily at your disposal. See, I sit back and look at, you might sit back and think, man, I wouldn't do this or do that if I had more money. But I sit back and look at, the Lord kept, man, we were getting ready to blow. Boy, I'm talking about before I caught that case in 02, boy, I'm finna get ready to go down. He didn't let that happen. You know what I'm talking about? Now, it could have been for a multitude of reasons, but man, nigga at the end of the day, man, nigga was already a sporty nigga and arrogant from time to time. Ain't no telling what would happen, man. Nigga could have touched 100 bands. $500,000, talking greasy. You know what I'm talking about? I was talking greasy to the police. So how you think I'd have felt, nigga, I got $500,000, I got $1 million. And I'm pulling up in this Benz. Man, Craig, I don't see you. You know what I'm talking about? What's going on, Jerome? Nigga that been in the street like that there, man. Hold on, homeboy. Man, I remember one day this chick rolled up on me, I had my wallets on, man. She whipped to my shoe, went to laugh. I said, hold up. I said, look here, hold this 100% premium suede. I don't even come out the door if I see a cloud in the sky with these shoes on. Now, how you think a nigga was talking like that and a nigga hadn't even seen about $10,000, $20,000? How you think a nigga would have been talking with $500,000? You know what I'm talking about? And I'm gonna be jumping in the Benz, guaranteed. Smoking weed everywhere. Wouldn't care who around. You know what I'm talking about? Stuff be like this here, man. Yeah, you keep you back from some of that stuff, man, because I was young too. Man, you don't know how, man, you might know you got a certain level of maturity, but mess around, be young, and a whole bunch of money get dropped in your lap. You know, these white folks love to talk about these athletes and how they be acting. Man, you can't put no young nigga ain't never had nothing, give him $10, $20 million, tell him go away, and ain't nobody telling him no. He gonna act a fool with it. You know what I'm talking about? It's just more money, open up, it's more stuff you can do. I can go more places. I can do more things. I can buy more things. You know what I'm talking about? And no matter how you would like to think, how you would act with it, you know, some of us know you're going to be sensible with it. But if you sit back and think 2021, because I was like 21. I was 21 years old. And boy, we were finna get ready to make a major move before I caught that cake. Boy, I was finna take off. I was already sitting on a good little piece of time. You know what I'm talking about? I had me a good strong hustle. I got a nigga front me work. He giving me way more than what it worth. I can make probably about 3-4 times what the nigga want me to pay him back. I'm copping my own coke and cooking my own coke off the money that I'm making off this nigga pipe. I'm taking this nigga money and buying work and flipping that. And I was going to take my student loan check and buy some more work with that, flip that, pay that back. On top of the work I already had and the money I already had. Man, you can't give a young nigga that kind of money, man. All planned out. Lord took all that down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Lord took all that down. You know what I'm saying? But it was for the best, though. See, my old lady don't text me talking about we get it. You don't get it. Because some of y'all ain't even got to see that much money. Some nigga can have some of you niggas a $17,000 check, man. You think you just won $17 million, you'll go crazy. Nigga be in the back room, I don't even want to be in the bank. I'm going to cash it. I want the cash. You gonna put it on your bed, think you Scrooge McDuck, gonna be in there jumping in it, trying to swim in it. Some of you freaking niggas gonna be taking $100 bills and trying to stick them to your chest. Just feeling yourself. I'm for real though. That's why you keep. I'm telling you that. Some of these niggas, I'm telling you, man, when you ain't never really seen no money, man, you might not know how to act. Yep. But we just see looking at that man say a lot of foolish and hurtful lust. So when you say foolish, No, they end up doing stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. Verse 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So just know, if you coveting after money, you are committing sin. You've erred. That's not the faith of y'all. I know that what the world teacher, and I know that's what some of y'all problem is. You want money so bad you can't follow God. Let's see what Paul tell you to do. But thou, O man of God, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, and patience, and meekness. That's what you ought to seek first. All that stuff be added on to you. Yahshua already told you that. Seek the kingdom of God first and his righteousness. All that stuff be added on to you. Ain't nothing wrong with having goals. And ain't nothing wrong with wanting to build something. But some of y'all, that stuff come first. See, look at Ezekiel 33. This is why I say that stuff come first. Because this is the mind some of y'all got. Ezekiel 33 and 30. Look at the mind some of y'all got. Man, this stuff bigger than just saying, Lord, I love you. Lord, I'm here every Sabbath. Lord, I sing a song to you. I make a joyful noise just like Psalms say every day. But yet you sinning every chance you get. He say also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and by the door and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that come from Yah. And they come unto thee as the people come, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart go after their covetousness. So that's what the Lord sit back and tell you. He said, your mouth, you show a lot of love, but your heart going after the things that you lust after. That's the same thing they did in the wilderness. Everything you said, Lord, we'll do. First chance they got, man, we had cucumber leeks and melons. We want some bread. Oh, we're going to die for thirst. Ain't no water out here. Oh, we loathe this light bread. We want some flesh to eat. It was better for us to stay in sin. We had more fun there. In bondage. That's how some of y'all think. I want to go back to sin. I had more fun in sin. Oh, I'm going to die. Lusting after evil things. Lusting after evil. We've been looking at this stuff in the last couple months. We ain't got to go back and see. We looked at them people just a couple weeks ago crying out for them quail. And what happened to them? They asked for it. God gave it to them and killed them. Huh? You just sit looking at that. How some of you said that man, the man be calling y'all. He said, your mouth, you show a lot of love, man. Come on back to 1 Corinthians 10. He said, you show a lot of love. He said, but your heart go after the thing that you lusting after. And we know what Yahshua said. You can't serve two masters. Because you're going to cleave to the one and hate the other. Can't do both. We stopped at verse 6. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication as some of them committed, and fell in one day 320,000. Neither let us tempt the Messiah as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. That's what some of y'all problem is. Y'all complain too much. You murmur against the man of God, you murmur against the Lord, and that man say you better not do that or you're going to be destroyed. Now all these things happened unto them for ensamples, and they were written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world came. So all that stuff was an example, and it was written to correct you so you wouldn't do it. So you know what level of stupidity we have to be to turn around and see an example of wrongdoing and turn around and do it? We would have to be extremely stupid now, wouldn't we? That would have to be a level of stupidity that no man has ever seen. Back to Isaiah 51. We still holding Ezekiel 18. Nobody still ain't told me who Sarah would represent about look unto Sarah who bare you. He said look unto the pit which you would dig, right? Let's look back and see. Let's look at verse 2 yet again. Well, verse 1 yet again. What it say? Hearken unto me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek Yah. Look unto the rock when ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit when ye are digged. Look unto Abraham your father, and Sarah that bare you, for I called him alone, and blessed him, and increased him. So who would Sarah represent? Who would Sarah represent? And you got to sit back and look at who would Sarah represent. He just told you to look unto the hole which you would dig. So let's look at Luke chapter 24, verse 1. Luke 24 and 1. Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, and certain others with them. And they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre, and they entered in, and found not the body of the Lord Yahshua. So now we need to look to the hole which we would dig. So the hole that we would dig would be the grave, right? So then who would Sarah represent then? Galatians chapter 4, verse 22. Galatians 4:22. For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise. Which things are an allegory, for these are the two covenants. The one from Mount Sinai which gendered the bondage, which is Agar. But this Agar is Mount Sinai and Arabia, an answer to Jerusalem, which now is, and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So when we see and we look at Sarah that bare you, it was Jerusalem that bare Yahshua out of the grave will be considered his mother, right? In that instance, right? And who would that take us back to with Jerusalem being the mother of us all? Eve. Now we sit back looking at Sarah will be that representation for us. That's why he's telling you to look at Sarah. He's telling the women, go look at Sarah's behavior. He's telling us as men, go look at Abraham's behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because if you Abraham was a just man. He didn't oppress anybody. Let's go sit back and see if Abraham oppressed anybody or if he restored to a man back in Genesis 14. And then, thank the Lord. and 21. Genesis 14 and 21. See, we're supposed to look to Abraham. See, if we look to Abraham, then we would also be looking to the Messiah, as Abraham being exalted father, and it said that Yahshua will be called the everlasting father. It says, and the king of Sodom said unto Abram, give me the persons and take good to thyself. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand to Yah, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from thee a thread, even to a shoe latchet, that I will take anything that is thine, lest thou should say, I made Abram rich. That means I don't take nothing from you. That's how y'all got to sit back looking at being careful how you deal with these sinners, man. I ain't going to take nothing from you. Lest you be able to open your mouth and say, son, you did something for me. Listen what he told. Save only that which the young man have eaten in the portion of the men which with me, and Esau and Mamre, let them take their portion. He said, the men with me, he said, they can get there. He said, you ain't even, he said, I won't even take a shoe latchet from you, buddy. He said, I won't take nothing which is yours. Listen what he said, lest you should say, I made, because he know when he's sitting back, look at, y'all the one made me rich. I don't need nothing from you, nigga. I don't want nothing from you. See, some of y'all done put yourself in that position when you be dealing with these sinners and you take stuff from them. Then you get in the position to be able to hold that over your head, don't you? So you know how you kill that? You let him know. You know what? I'm good. You ain't got to get bold and be how Abraham said. I wouldn't be able to let you say you be able to ever say you made me rich. You just say, you know what? I'm straight. See, some of you niggas will take anything from anybody because you go after your. See, if Abraham lusted after evil things, he would have took that with him. He would have tried to get everything he could have got. But see, you supposed to look to your father Abraham. See, that's how some of you niggas is. First chance you see a chance to get what you lusting after and what you get, you jump on it. You don't sit back and look at why would you even get that person to put that person in a position to be able to say they did that for you. Knowing they don't follow what you follow, and you basically showing them I actually trust in myself and what I'm lusting after, and all intents and purposes you more than I trust in my God. That's why I'm trying to seek to get this up out of you. Because see, y'all had already showed Abraham, I got power to make you rich. I got power to make you wealthy. I got power to give you the things that you need and desire. You don't need to take nothing from nobody. Especially not no sinner. That's something to think about now, isn't it? Huh? Come on back over here to so when he Ezekiel 18. So when he said he called them alone and blessed them, you know he called Yahshua alone. Wasn't Yahshua in the grave by himself? You know what I'm saying? Now we know y'all would be right, because see, I know every time I ask y'all stuff, you automatically be like, Yahshua. I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Y'all need to stop that. That's too easy. Because I know that y'all know, I know that y'all know that the whole book's about the Lord. Come on now. I know y'all know that. Y'all should be able to the point now where you should be able to start narrowing stuff down. You know what I'm saying? Just sit back. You know what I'm talking about? Sit back and look at it. We know Abraham and Sarah were husband and wife, because we just read in Genesis 13, Abraham and his wife came up out of Egypt. We know in the beginning he was made male and female. You know what I'm talking about? And we know that basically Yahshua was man and woman at the same time, bearing forth his wife. So when he was on the tree, he was Adam and Eve, he was Abraham and Sarah. Because Abraham is exalted father, Sarah is the one who bore the child of the promise, which is Isaac, which brought forth Jacob, which brought forth the children. You know what I'm talking about? Because he just told you, look to Sarah that bare you. So yes, you will still be coming back to the Messiah, but you got to sit back and look at, how did Sarah bear you? She bared you when this man rose from the dead. If he don't rise from the dead, he can't bear you. Because you got to look at, you're supposed to know Jerusalem is the mother of us all. You're supposed to know that. All y'all, I would expect to know that. Some of the newer ones, but some of y'all that have been around here for a while, you supposed to already know that. Come on back to Ezekiel 18 though. So when we looked at Ezekiel 18, because all this started back looking about a man not oppressing. Because we don't read Yahshua taking nothing from nobody. You want to know why? Come on, Matthew chapter 20. When you read anything where Yahshua taking anything from the people? No, well. Matthew 20 and 24. We come back to John 8. That's what it was. Thank the Lord. We got to get back to John 8 and finish that up. And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two brethren. But Yahshua called them unto him and said, ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you. But whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. So that means he ain't take aught from any man, did he? We know what did Acts chapter 10 say. He came to heal those that were oppressed of the devil. So that means he wasn't oppressing anybody. Come on back to John chapter 8. You got to sit back and look at it. You shouldn't be oppressing nobody. Some of you are like, how could I oppress anybody? You know, like when you badger people, hound people, disrespectful, rude. Always, main way to how people oppress people, always trying to get over. What we were talking about Wednesday, not having a just weight and a just balance, a just measure. 3/4 slick nigga. You know what we call a nigga? You know what another thing we call a nigga who be always trying to be 3/4 slick? You know what them niggas be having? You know what we used to say in the street golden? That nigga got that buzzer club. Niggas who always be trying to be 3/4 slick don't nothing go good for them. And we always say that nigga got that buzzer club. Everything fall apart for him. Old vulture nigga. Always flying around trying to eat scraps. Looking for the dead. Trying to pick something off. Verse 37 of John chapter 8. He said, I know that you are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me because my word had no place in you. So just like John the Baptist told them, I'm not even responding to that stupidity. I'm going to ask y'all a question since it's on my mind. Y'all remember when we looked at, I'm going to show y'all something. Come on out here to 1 John chapter 5. I want y'all to fully understand this statement. 1 John chapter 5 and about verse 16. If any man see his brother sin a sin which is not unto death, he shall ask, he shall give him life for them that sin not unto death. There is a sin unto death. I do not say that he shall pray for it. He said there's certain sins that you could commit that not unto death, right? I want y'all to come back around here and look at Deuteronomy 25, and I'll let y'all judge it by y'all judgment. Do y'all hear me? All right now. I'm going to let y'all judge the matter. Now we looking at something right here. Deuteronomy 25 and verse 6 and verse 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and had no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her, and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of a husband unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she bear shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders, and say, my husband's brother refused to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel, he will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him, and if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto the man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that hath his shoe loosed. Did it sound like this man committed a sin to any of y'all? Does it sound like he committed a sin to you? Because committing a sin is, I told you, huh? What'd you say? Yeah, pretty much. Why wouldn't you do that? Because the man just said, I just told him that's not a sin. He said, well, if it's not a sin, why is there a judgment? That's not a judgment. Because if we sit back and we look here in verse 7, it say, if the man like not to take, which means he didn't commit a sin because he said, okay, if the man don't want to do it, you take his shoe off, you spit in his face. He didn't say he sinned, though. Because if he say you sinned, that means sin is, I told you not to do something, and you did. You have an option here. You can do it, but if you choose not to do it, we just gonna spit in your face. Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna take your shoe off and we're gonna spit in your face. That's not a sin. He don't need to take an offering and a sacrifice to atone for this. You know, I seen somebody earlier today say you didn't need to take no sacrifices, that y'all just wanted repentance. Talking about David didn't offer no sacrifices for his sin. If you don't think that man went to no temple and offered no trespass offering and a sin offering, you are a retard. You want to know why? Let's look at the law in Leviticus chapter 4, if I'm not mistaken. That's the sin of ignorance. Let me pick the right one. Verse 6. Leviticus chapter 6, verse 1. Leviticus chapter 6, verse 1. Let's just see what the law say. Niggas be quick to run their mouth, but let's see what the law say. And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, if a soul sin and commit a trespass against Yah. So when David did that with Bathsheba, was that not a trespass against Yah? and lie unto his neighbor in that which was delivered to him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or have deceived his neighbor. Did he not deceive Uriah the Hittite by putting his man on the front line so he could kill him to take his wife? Did he not do that by violence to take away this man's wife? Let's see what verse 3 says. Or have found that which was lost, and lie concerning it, and swear falsely in any of these that a man do, sinning therein. Then it shall be, because he hath sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took violently away, or the thing which he hath deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered to him to keep, or the lost thing which he found. Or all that which he hath sworn falsely, he shall even restore in the principal, and add the fifth part more thereto, and give it unto him to it appertain in the day of his trespass offering. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto Yah, a ram without blemish out of the flock, with thy estimation, for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yah, and it shall be forgiven him for any of the things that he hath done in the trespassing therein. And you know what that trespass offering that David had to give besides that there? He lost that baby, didn't he? I'm going to take that baby from you. Keep that woman, I'm going to kill that baby, though. Ain't that something, though? Because you know the law, man. You just can't, let's look at Leviticus chapter 7, verse 1. You just can't sin and say, I'm sorry, and you ain't got, it's got to be bloodshed. Likewise, this is the law of the trespass offering. It is most kodesh. In the place where they kill the burnt offering shall they kill the trespass offering, and the blood thereof he shall sprinkle round about upon the altar. And he shall offer it all of the fat thereof, and the fat that cover the inwards, and the two kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the caul that is above the river with the kidneys, it shall take away. And what happened when they hit Yahshua with that spear? You think his kidney stayed in? Huh? Y'all think his kidney stayed in when they hit him with a spear in the side? They came on out. So guess what that means? He was the trespass offering. You think David ain't have to go offer a trespass offering for what he did? David didn't even say he was sorry. Nathan the prophet spoke by Yah and said, your sin put away, you shall not die. That don't negate the fact David had to go make an offering. Come on back to Leviticus chapter 4 and verse 22. Let's see what the law says. When a ruler, wasn't David a ruler? Was David a ruler? When a ruler has sinned and done somewhat through ignorance against any of the commandments of Yah, his God, concerning the things which should not be done, and is guilty. Or this is what he said. Or if his sin wherein he has sinned come to his knowledge. So when Nathan the prophet told him that, did his sin come to his knowledge? He shall bring his offering a kid of goats, a male without blemish. He shall lay his hand upon the head of the goat and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before Yah. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it upon the horns of the altar of the burnt offering, and shall pour out his blood at the bottom of the altar of burnt offering. And he shall burn all his fat upon the altar as the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings. The priest shall make an atonement for him as concerning his sin, it shall be forgiven him. So that means when David did that, he had to go make that offering according to the law. Now don't. You know why David would have went and did this? Let's look at Deuteronomy 17. Let's just see why David would have went and done this. See, sometimes, boy, you can open up your mouth and this book show you stupid. Deuteronomy 17 and 18. And it shall be, when he sit upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in the book out of which is before the priest, the Levite. Ain't it funny these people say these people never had a book, but the law commanded them to write one? And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear Yah his God, and to keep all the words of this law and these statutes to do them. No, you don't. No, we don't sacrifice no animals now. Yahshua was your sacrifice. No, we won't sacrifice no animals now. Every sacrifice in this book, Yahshua fulfilled every last one of them. All them sacrifices was about him. Now you have a continual sacrifice that abide forever. He told you he had no pleasures in bulls and goats. Bulls and goats couldn't make a man perfect pertaining to the conscience. But how much more if the sprinkling of a heifer to make you clean, how much more the blood of the Messiah, who offered himself without blemish, by the everlasting Spirit, purge your conscience from dead works. See, brothers like to sit around and debate about stuff, but your conscience is still conspattered with dead works. Still a sinner. Still in your lust. I see the one thing about it. I don't be with all that. A lot of these people they want to argue. Niggas really don't want to know. Nigga ain't got nobody you ain't no sinner. Niggas sit back and say, well, you sinning, you don't raise up a seed to your brother, but you lie every day, nigga. And this what you worried about. This what you worried about. So if you was married to to a woman and you died and your brother was a sinner, that woman ain't got to marry this sinful nigga. Well, my brother got to raise up a seed to my wife. Nigga, sit your stupid butt down. You niggas just freaks and hoes trying to use that law to justify having multiple wives, you wicked bastard. Just being stupid and being a nigga. Nobody got time for that nonsense. So y'all, now listen to that. Do you think when David was made known what he did, that y'all know what he did with Bathsheba, you think David went and make an offering to atone for that sin? Or you think he just, because David didn't say he was sorry, did he? Nathan told him, y'all have put away your sin, you shall not die. And then we just looked at this last week, right? And then he told David what he was going to do to him then, didn't he? That don't change the fact. David had to go make an offer. If he did, he committed sin. That's what the law said you had to go do. David knew that. Because the law said he had to have a book of the law with him. Come on, man. Back to Ezekiel 18. Why you can't be no novice with this book now? That's what them sinners say who don't believe in the Lord. See, you just got to say, I'm sorry, and repent. See, obedience better than sacrifice. You play that game all you want. That man said, I gave you blood for atonement. You got to have blood to atone for sin. Saying I'll repent ain't going to cut it. That ain't going to cut it. That's what the law say. Leviticus 17. That's what the law say. Law say blood got to be shed for sin. Nigga, ain't no blood being shed. That means your sin remain. It's got to be a payment. Y'all don't hear me though. Ezekiel 18 and about verse 9. Well, actually verse 7. What you think that means? Look at it. He have not oppressed, but have restored the debtor his pledge. He has spoiled none by violence, and have given his bread to the hungry, and covered the naked with a garment. What you think that means? He restored the debtor his pledge. What y'all think that means? He gave his bread to the hungry, covered the naked with a garment. What you think that means? Come on now, somebody talk to me. Y'all was all good in the beginning. Now niggas sound like dead men. What y'all think that means, restore the debtor his pledge? His pledge. Let's look at something. Come on to Genesis chapter 30. Let's look at something real fast. You cold? You cold, little? See where it is I want over here in Genesis chapter 30. Chapter 30. Let me get on right here to the tribe name that I want. It's probably right here in my face. Genesis 30 and 17. Make it 15. 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, Give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. And she said unto her, Is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? Wilt thou take away my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night. And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the fifth son. And Leah said, God hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar. So to give me my hire means I owed you. You'll give me what I'm owed. You know what I'm talking about? You're going to pay me what I'm owed. Well, we sit back and we look at something that the father made a pledge with Yahshua. He was a debtor to Yahshua. Why was he a debtor to Yahshua? Why was the father in debt to the son? If that make any sense to any of y'all. Why would the father be in debt to the son? He promised to raise him up. He promised him a kingdom. He promised him dominion. Did he not? He promised him rule. But then guess what then? Then we would be in debtor. So he restored that to Yahshua and them. But guess what then? Then we would be debtors to Yahshua, and he will restore us our pledge too, now wouldn't he? Because didn't he promise us the same things? But let's look at Ecclesiastes 1:1. Maybe y'all can follow me a little bit. I was talking to the brother Trav about this on my way over here. Ecclesiastes 1:1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit have a man of all his labors which he have taken under the sun? What's the gain you going to get from your labors under the sun? What did Paul tell us in 1 Corinthians 15? Verse 57. Let's look and see. What's the profit of all a man's labors under the sun? Let's see what your gain would be. 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. 51. Make it 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doth corruption inherit corruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, but we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin. The strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God, which give us victory through our Lord Yahshua HaMashiach. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Because Solomon just asked you a question, what profit have a man of all his labor taken under the sun? When we sit back, remember how we did look at, come back to Ecclesiastes 1:1. Remember how we looked at what last week? When it said a man do his labors till it's going down on the sun, and Yahshua say, I gotta work, but the night come where no man can work. You sit back and remember that? What profit did he get from his labor? The gain that he got was he was able to give unto us everlasting life. He was able to redeem us back to the Father. He was able to bring the gospel of reconciliation to bring us back. That's what we looked at Genesis 13, right? With Abraham and Sarah, right? You called it. He brought his wife out of bondage. And when he brought her out, he had much silver and gold and cattle and all that. And didn't Israel get all of that when she came out of Egypt? And don't the word say we'll get all of that when we come up out of here? Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. One generation pass away, and another generation come, but the earth abide forever. So what you think that would mean? Because an apostle told you about it. One generation come, but the earth abide forever. 2 Peter chapter 3. Peter told you about it. Peter told you about it. Well, we get a little bit of Ezekiel 18. Maybe one day we'll finish the whole thing. We ain't even going in the direction I had in my mind to go. I had a whole nother thing in my mind to go. But the Lord do as he sees fit. 2 Peter 3 and 3. Make it 2. Make it 1. 2 Peter 3 and 1. This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, that you may be mindful of the words which were spoken by the Kodesh prophets, and of the commandments of us, the apostles of our Lord and Savior. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. See, some of y'all got family members mock y'all. They going right after their own lust. Just what you seen your ancestors do in the wilderness. You know what a scoffer is, right? That's a mocker. Didn't them people mock in the wilderness? Because they were worrying about their own lust? That's what some of you niggas do. Some of y'all mock because you want certain, because you lusting after stuff. Some of y'all get mocked by people who lusting after stuff, and you still deal with it. How could you sit around somebody who mock you and your God? How could you do that? See, I would get from around a nigga like that. This talks about the same cause mine. I said about. Huh? Y'all hear me on that? How many of y'all gonna sit here and be honest with me today and say you've been sitting around people who've been mocking you? I'm talking about, I ain't even talking about just online. I'm talking about in the flesh. Screw online. Nigga mock you online just cause you don't wear Hebrew garments. Yeah, they're on general print. You know what I'm saying? Look what he say. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. For this they willingly ignorant of, that by the word of God the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and the perdition of ungodly men. So Solomon just sat back and told us, don't the earth abide forever? Say one generation pass away, another come, but the earth ain't going nowhere. Ain't that something? That's the same thing he just said, didn't it? This nigga here, man. Niggas is dumb. I just was telling y'all the other day, and I'm going to tell you again. Y'all can fool with these Hebrew Israelite niggas if you want them. I just hope you ready to go to hell with them. I can't fool with them. I can't fool with them. I used to sit down and talk to some of these dudes, man. I can't fool with all these niggas, man. These niggas dumb. These niggas dumb. Man, I'll tell you something, man. This is real talk, man. I wouldn't care what walk of life these people come from. If saving their soul is not their number one top ranked priority, I wouldn't have close dealings with them. Psalm 119 say, I'm a companion of those that fear Yah. Somebody had that fear Yah has a reverential respect and awe for his authority and his power, for his mercies, his loving kindness, and his wrath. And that's bottom line. At this point in my life, there's nowhere in the world that I could hang or have in-depth conversations with a transgressor. I definitely couldn't hang and have in-depth dealings with a dummy. I couldn't do that before the word. I have a very short tolerance for stupidity. You know what I'm saying? My whole family like that. That's why we have the art of sarcasm mastered. We can't really kick it like that now. What you say, little mother? We can't really go like we used to go. Yeah, we had the art of sarcasm mastered. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't do stupid well. Don't really know how to function with it. I don't know how to do stupid. You know what I'm talking about? And them niggas too dumb that, man, I had to leave these niggas alone, man, 'cause I've been cussing one of these niggas out, literally. Them nigga make you spit in their face. Cause nigga, you can't be this stupid. I was telling the brothers this the other day, and the only reason why I mentioned it because the level of stupidity of how it sounded. A brother did a conference call about 2-3 months ago. Say, was tithes ever money? We showed this man there clear as day, and his response was, I might as well go back to the Christian church. Nigga, what? You sound stupid. You sound like a pure idiot. And it wasn't the fact of the issue. You just heard the book show you that what you told was wrong was right, and your response was, I might as well go back to the Christian church. But I told y'all about this here. That wasn't the iceberg. The iceberg was a grown person, a grown woman saying, well, I should go to Publix and go buy some fruit and tithe that. Number one, nigga, you didn't grow the fruit. You didn't work no ground. You didn't plant no seed. You didn't till nothing. You think you gonna walk your monkey behind in the grocery store? You don't even know if these first fruits. You just gonna get some bananas, some oranges, some apples, and some broccoli, and say, this is what I'm gonna get the Lord? I said, let me get off the phone with these niggas. These niggas here stupid. Do y'all really realize how dumb that sounds? To say, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and buy some fruit? You know what type of mind you got to even have a thought process to even think that was a reasonable thing to say, much less do? How many of y'all think that's a reasonable thought to even have enter into your mind? I'm talking about, don't look at what the matter was about. I'm talking about the response. I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy fruit and give it to God and say, this is my portion to you. I went to the grocery store and bought it. Now, how would you not? Now, of course, we can't put ourselves in the steed of y'all. But let's just say, for instance, you were God himself. How would you feel if a nigga walked in the grocery store and bought some fruits and vegetables and brought that to you? Who gonna be honest? How would you feel if this person came and did that? Knowing what your words say, knowing what I told you to do, and this is what you brought me. You know how that can akin to, because it's the festival of Lupercalia. That's like a nigga coming to a woman with a Valentine's Day gift that he got from another woman and came and brought it to her. You can't bring me some secondhand stuff. You didn't even bring me your best. Nigga gave me a hand-me-down gift. Nigga gave me a hand-me-down gift. That's like somebody on your birthday. Nigga don't buy you a brand new shirt. Nigga had a nerve to buy you a used shirt and wrap it up like it's brand new. Shirt raggedy. Don't know where it came from. I don't know how y'all would deal with that. I had to start talking to the people. I can't deal with that. That's a level of stupidity rarely seen. I don't know about y'all. How y'all deal with stupid? Somebody help me out, because I don't deal with stupid too well. Cause I know some of y'all might get upset with me sometimes and be like, man, that nigga just snapped on me. I'm gonna tell you something. The one thing that'll get me to say something to you, if I've been told you something more than 3 times and you ask it to me again, then that tell me 1 or 2 things. You ain't listening or you stupid. And yep, you might get hit with a real swift jab straight to your chin with words though. You know what I'm saying? Cause all are grown. So I shouldn't have to tell you the same thing over and over and over again. You should already know. It's one thing to have a question. It's another thing, I just told you that. And little mother know, if I just told you something and you ask it to me, ain't I gonna tell you I just told you that? And I'm gonna accentuate that point of, I just told you that. Yesterday, last week, I just told you that 45 minutes ago. I don't know. Ecclesiastes 1:1. That's just me. I don't do stupid well. I'm just letting y'all know that. Just don't take it personal. Just don't take it personal. Ecclesiastes 1:5. Listen what it says. The sun also arise, the sun go down, and haste to his place where he rose. Wind go toward the south, and turn about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind return again according to his circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the withers come, till they return again. All things are full of labor, man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Now what y'all think that mean about the sun arising and going down and then rushing to get back to the place where it rose from? Somebody talk to me. Y'all mighty quiet. How come we, in the beginning, you niggas be good and crunk up, we get about an hour and a half in, nigga, is you niggas sleep? Is you slobbing? Is you snoring? Hold on. Hold on. Who did call? Somebody can call that? Who that is speaking? That's you, Denzel. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Whoever was speaking on here, finish your thought. Thank the Lord. That's correct. That is correct. That is very correct. When we sit back and we look off the sun arise, the sun go down and haste to the place where he arose. So when we sit back and we look at the sun arise, we can look at it also two ways. The sun arising meaning him rising from the dead, right? We looked in Luke 24 and seen that. Then the sun going down, we can also look at him descending down into the lower parts of the earth, right? And like he said, hasten to go back the way he came. So now we need to verify this, right? Let's go on and verify it. And let's look at Luke 24 and 1 again. Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, certain others with them, and they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre, and they entered in and found not the body of the Lord Yahshua. Now let's go back to Ephesians 4 and 8, and let's sit back and look at it. So when we look at S-U-N, it's talking about the literal sun, but now we have to take this into the S-O-N, the son of light. Well, somebody need to mute their phone. Somebody going hard. Ain't it though? So you know that voice on my mouth. Yeah, gonna drop kick her right upside her head. Make it 7. Ephesians 4 and 7. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of the Messiah. Wherefore he said, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Now he that ascended, which means the son arose, right? What is he? What is it? But that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth. So the sun go down. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. So that means he hasted to go back where he came from then, didn't he? Because remember what he told his apostles? It's meet for you that I depart, that the comforter be given. Because let's go looking back at the wind. Who that is? That's you, Nicole, talking? What you got going on? We need to come around there and hit you in your head. We heard you back there talk, getting greedy with somebody. The power went out. Standing outside ain't gonna get it done. Call JEA. It's cold out there. 1 and 6. Say the wind goes towards the south and turn about unto the north, and whirl about continually, and the wind return again according to his circuit. So what is this wind talking about going down from the north to the south then? Yeah, and on Pentecost it said it sounded like what? A rushing wind. That's what it said then. A rushing wind. So we sitting back looking at, we see another validation for what Paul wrote in Ephesians 4 about the ascending, the descending, then the sitting above all heavens then, don't it? Because it's going right along with that. The Son ascended, coming down as man, going into the grave, coming out the grave, sending down the Ruach HaKodesh, that we might be redeemed. Why? Because he was a man who was just, who committed no sin, to give the debtor his pledge. You know what I'm talking about? Because we in debt to him. Remember in 1 Corinthians 6, this man said he bought you with his own blood. How would we be in debt to him? Remember how we looked at it, only your near kinsman, when we just looked at it last week, could redeem you? Which means you were in debt to somebody if you had to be redeemed. So to be able to restore the debtor his pledge, I'm going to give you this spirit. The only way you can get it is what? He that believe on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers and living waters. And this one here, Hebrews 12 and 14. Hold Ecclesiastes 1, Hebrews 12 and 14. Y'all see how the debtor restored the pledge. Now how you going to turn around and restore your pledge to him? By being faithful. Stop going after your own lust. How about you start following after righteousness, peace, meekness, joy, faith? Follow them things. You'll have more success. But I keep telling y'all, week in and week out, you trying to fit your junk in with the Lord's. And it's not going to work. The Lord not going to let you be successful in what you trying to do while you trying to call yourself being spiritual and carnal at the same time. Because all you doing is you showing much love with your mouth, but your mind is going after your lust. Because you hearing the word and you say, boy, he brought that word last week, boy. Wednesday night, oh boy, I can't wait for the Sabbath. I can't wait for the new moon to hear the word, but you hearing it, but you not doing it though. Be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Hearing it ain't going to cut it if you not going to do it. Hebrews 12 and 14. Follow peace with all men, and Kodesh, without which no man shall see the Lord. How you think you're going to see the Lord and you ain't set apart? Then we already read in 2 Corinthians 6, be ye separate and touch not the unclean thing. Now why you niggas still dirty? You won't separate. You won't separate. You so scared to separate. Adam preached to you separation right in the beginning of the book. Shoot, separation in the first Genesis 1. We looked at it not too long ago. Separation right here in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 4. Y'all was showing you separation from the jump street. Make it 3. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. He called the separation. He separated the sons of God from the sons of the devil. Life from death. There has to be a separation. You can't be separate and still be inclined to fool with any and everybody. Now, if the man told you come out from among them and be ye separate and touch not the unclean thing, and you won't come out from among these people, then ain't you committing sin? Ain't you committing sin? So none of y'all hear me right now. So you will be committing sin if you don't want to come up from among these people and sanctify yourself from them. I know it's hard. I know it's rough. But boy, you had to be able to pull them scissors out, cut them people off. Your soul on the line. The man told you, don't think that I came to bring peace. I came to bring a sword. I went through this with some of y'all before a while back in Leviticus chapter 20. The man told you, I severed you from among other people that you might be mine. If God cutting you off from other people that you could belong to him, why are you trying to hold on to people God don't want? Because that's your people? Because you love them? Why do you think he came back around and told you, if any man hate not his father, his mother, his brother, his sister, his wives, his children, and he said even his own life also, he can't be my disciple. He said he does not willing to forsake all that he have cannot be my disciple. If you're not willing to abandon and sever ties from anything, even what you want. See, he mentioned your own life also lasts. But he had to let you know, if you was not even going to be, you got to be willing to separate from your people and separate from your own lust. Or you can't be my follower. Because these things going to get in the way. See, y'all don't think that stuff no issue. But you's a fool if you don't. We already looked at it. It brought down King Solomon. Ain't none of y'all greater than Solomon. But you keep on thinking you're greater than Solomon. And you keep on thinking that fooling with sinners and fooling with sin ain't going to be your downfall. And the Lord going to show you different. Now you can try the man and damn yourself. Or you can have enough sense and obey and save yourself. I also want to tell y'all another thing too. I remember I used to tell Nell this all the time. And I've seen this being reiterated a time or two. There is no individuality in this thing. It's not you over here and I'm over there and I'm over here. This thing is a collective, unified body. We started to look at it last week and we didn't. Remember how we looked and it said all the people came together as one man and they had all things in common. See, that went back to, you know how Ephesians 4 say one body, one faith. See, when you go look at Jeremiah 32, he said, I'll give them one heart and one way. You can't have, even we read in 1 Corinthians 12 last week that there won't be no schisms in the body. See, you niggas can't be around here talking about I'm my own person. You going to hell. This thing don't work like that. This is a communal body. Communal body means one. Group of people working together. The only thing that you can do by yourself is save yourself. I don't care what you niggas going through, how bad your day is, all that trying to separate from yourself and be by yourself. This thing don't work like that. It's not how this works. You don't never read in the book people said, even when the Lord was going through what he was going through, dealing with when he was getting ready to die, did he go all by himself? He brought two of his disciples with him, didn't he? He didn't go all by himself now. He took James and Peter with him. Let's look and see who he took with him. I don't want to quote it wrong. Matthew 26. Let's look and see who he took with him. I don't want to quote wrong who he took with him. Matthew 26 and 37. Let's just see who he took with him. Matthew 26 and 37. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. So that means the Lord didn't even go all by himself now, did he? So how you gonna do it? Now he was very sorrowful and exceedingly sorrowful even unto death. And he didn't go off and be no individual when he was going through something. But some of you niggas be going through something and you want to hold yourself off somewhere off to yourself. Just know you wrong. Y'all hear me? Do y'all understand that you were wrong? I need to hear. Do y'all understand if you going through something, you can't wall yourself because the Lord didn't do it. So if you go do that, just know you're wrong. I'm speaking to them that are members of the Assembly of the Firstborn, and you know who you is. If you go do that, you wrong. You wrong. Ain't no other way around that. Because the Lord just showed you that's not what to do. He was sorrowful finna die. You niggas be sorrowful because something you want to happen didn't go your way. And you niggas just go off in a shell somewhere. You could have did that when you was in the world. You can't do that in the body of the Messiah. You can't do that, buddy. You can't do that. That's not how they work. Why you think this man say many gonna strive to enter into the straight gate ain't gonna be able to make it? It's not how this thing works. How many of y'all starting to realize that the way of God is very, very tight? When he says a straight gate, it's a straight gate, ain't it? He says it's a narrow way, it's a narrow way, ain't it? How many of y'all gonna start to come to that realization? It's real tight, man. It's real restricted. And somebody once told you your God got too many restrictions. That's why a lot of people don't want to do this. They feel like y'all got too many restrictions. Too much stuff you can't do. Because they hate him. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me though. Come on back to Ecclesiastes chapter 1. We still gonna deal with one. One of these days, we gonna get finished with verse 9 and Ezekiel 18. One day we'll get finished with the rest of it. One day the Lord see fit, we'll get finished with the rest of it. Y'all alright though? One day we gonna get finished with the rest of it. So we done established from Ezekiel 18 the debtor restoring his pledge. We need to establish a couple other things. So when we look at verse 7 of Ecclesiastes 1, all the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full unto the place from whence the rivers come, till they return again. We know the place from where the rivers come. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow what? Rivers of living water. Where did the rivers come? From the sun. How we know that? Because when they struck the rock, when Moses struck the rock, what came out of it? Rivers of water. We already read this. Go ahead, say that again, Kip. It was already in it. We already know from 1 Corinthians 10, we just said they drank that same spiritual drink from that spiritual rock, which was the Messiah. Because you said that the rivers running into the sea. How can we look at Revelation 17 just so you can see the rivers running into the sea are the people? Because I don't want y'all to think I'm making this up. Because you be like, how can the sea be the people? We just gonna see what the book say the people is. We just gonna see if the book say the people in the sea. Let's find this here. Revelation chapter 17. Let me find the verse that I want. What is it about verse 9 here? Is it verse 9 what I want? Let's sit back and see. And here is the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains which the woman sit. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. When he come, he must continue a short space. But the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7 that go into perdition. I lost my place. There we go. And the 10 horns which thou saw are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet. But he received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that were with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou saw, where the horse sit, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So when we come back to Ecclesiastes 1 and 7 and we see all the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full unto the place from whence the rivers come till they return again. So when we see the rivers running into the sea, that means we see the Spirit coming into people then, don't we? So then he say the sea is not full unto the place from whence the rivers come till they return again. So when the place from where the river come, which is the sun, that means we seeking to be met back with the sun, which we already read in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, by being rolled from the dead and meeting him at his coming. Would that be correct? Is that a correct assessment? Now that's the debtor restoring his pledge. Verse 8, all things are full of labor, men cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. Listen to what did man say. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So what you think that means? The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done, that which is done, is that which shall be done. And there ain't nothing new under the sun. What y'all think that is? Anybody got an idea? What did it say in Revelation 13:8? Go ahead. Go ahead. What did Revelation 13:8 tell us about the Lamb? Where was he slain from? Found the foundation of the world. That's what it said, right? So we sit back and we look at it. It says the thing that have been, it is that which shall be. So that means if he would kill from the foundation of the world, then these things must be then, don't it? That means that had to happen. How else would the sun arise, go down, and haste back to the place where he arose to send a wind from the north to the south, so that the spirit, the rivers, would go into the people, the sea? How would that be able to happen unless it was ordained from the foundation of the world to happen? Romans 16:24. That makes sense for y'all? The grace of our Lord Yahshua HaMashiach be with you all. Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahshua HaMashiach according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began, but now is made manifest, and by the scriptures of the prophets according to the commandment of the everlasting God, made known to all the nations for the obedience of faith. So that also goes back to what we always start with in Hosea 12:10 about him using similitudes by the ministry of the prophet. This stuff was kept secret since the world began. See, I was talking to a brother about this the other day, and he called it. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, none of them knew of the Messiah. None of them knew. Let's see if the Lord tells us that. Matthew 13. And 17. For truly I say unto you, that many prophets and wise, righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. This is something I reiterate to y'all all the time. It's a lot of people desire to see the things that y'all see and hear the things that y'all hear, and ain't heard them. And it was men that before the Lord came, they desired to hear these things. That's why he say men's eyes are full of labor and they cannot utter it. Their eyes is not satisfied with seeing, nor their ear filled with hearing. So let's look at 1 Peter chapter 1 and let's see. Because these men before time, they wanted to know these things, but their eyes were not satisfied, nor did their ears get to hear it. 1 Peter 1 and 4. Well, not 1 and 4 actually. About 1 and 7, but 1 and 8. I'm finna mess with T, y'all. T, you in there eating that tomato basil pizza you got? Whom having not seen ye love, and whom though now you see him not, yet believing you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently. So that means they would have been laboring for that, right? But their eyes didn't see it, nor did their ears hear it. Who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you, searching what, or what manner of time the Spirit of the Messiah which was in them did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of the Messiah and the glory that shall follow, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Ruach HaKodesh sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind and be sober. Keep your mind clear. A lot of y'all probably, we talking about being sober here. This ain't talking about getting drunk or high, because you niggas know you ain't got no business drinking or getting high in the first place. You ain't got no business talking about, I'm going to just take a little sip. Take a little sip because you are drunk. Put that wine down. Stop trying to slide down there talking about wine make man heart cheery. Man, that was the blood of the Messiah make your heart cheery. You got no business around here with no bottle of Merlot. You ain't got no business with no six pipe, and you definitely ain't got no business with no hard liquor. Some of you niggas dreaming about some cognac right now. Who dreaming about some cognac right now? One of you niggas in here dreaming about some Hennessy right now. One of you keep drunk nigga probably drinking about some Erkenjerk. Wants you some E&J. It's alright, you can tell us. Talking about you want some Ciroc. You niggas sitting there being drinking Ciroc. No way. You know that made by Puffy. You're going to be gay after a while. Going to be around here walking funny. Want to kiss men in the mouth. He said, as obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the form of lust in your ignorance. Now guess what? When y'all didn't know no better, that's one thing. If you seeking to become a son of God, why are you still following after your form of lust? What excuse you got for that? I'm telling you now, this world ain't what you want. You don't want the attention of this world. You don't want the accolades of this world. If you get accolades or attention of this world for being godly, but it be how Daniel did, man, I don't want that junk. Just let me do my thing. Some of y'all want the attention of sinners and the validation of sinners. And that's going to be the reason why you go to hell. I wouldn't care. No, I don't want no adoration from no sinner. Don't you know, man, in life, man, the worst thing you can be is a sinner? Don't y'all know that's the worst thing you can be? Do y'all realize that's the worst thing you can be? How many of y'all realize being a sinner is literally the worst thing you could be? Because the reason why it's the worst thing that you could be, because it's going to keep you separated from y'all. What's worse than that? Y'all don't realize what's worse than being separated from y'all. Man, I wouldn't care what nobody called you in this life. It shouldn't bother you. But if they call you a sinner, that should bother you. Especially if you know it's true. See, if you know you ain't no sinner and somebody call you that, they ain't gonna bother you. If somebody calls some of y'all a sinner right now, you niggas will snap because you know in your heart you are one. All it takes is to say the right words or hit dog holler. Some of you niggas are responding to some stuff that a nigga wasn't even talking about you specifically because you know it pertains to you. Some of y'all sit here week after week and this man give a word and you be sitting there with your lip all the way on the floor, looking stupid, looking retarded, and you would think after the man had you looking retarded one week you would tighten up, but yet you come back around the next week and you still looking retarded. And you come back around the next week and you still looking retarded. So that means that you got to be a transgressor. Because ain't nowhere in the world you should be looking retarded every time the word comes. What y'all say? Huh? What y'all say? It'd be one thing if it was something you ain't realized you were doing it. Or something you had been fooling with. And then he straightened you on it. It's another thing where it's habitual. Because if something is habitual, that means it's a continual cycle. That means you know you're a sinner. Worst part is, you won't do nothing about it. That's like somebody got a drinking or a drug problem. And you know you got the problem, but you won't do nothing about it. Don't make sense to me. Because it is written, be ye Kodesh, for I'm Kodesh. To keep that written now. You are separate now. Why you ain't separate? Some niggas love to scream they're a child of God. I'm a child of God, but you're not separate though. How's that possible? How's that possible? You know, I was talking with one of the sisters, man. This is why, and he had already put this in my mind about 2 weeks ago while I was sleeping, about really hammering and focusing to y'all about separation. And then one of the sisters had an issue, and another sister had an issue. And with that, the latter sister who I'm referring to, it was hard for her because she got a real love for these people. She like, it's hard looking at your people and seeing that they going to hell. And where that come in at, that be your flesh. But then you have to sit back, you got to rein that flesh in and sit back and look at this the choice that they making. Because they could do the same thing you doing. And if the Lord afforded them opportunity to hear the word, they would probably reject it. Because the choices that they making and the things that they doing, they would rather do that. And if the Lord gave you an ear to hear the word, then you should rather do what please God. Because your God is separate. See, I'm going to tell you something. We looked back a couple weeks ago. He said his eyes is too pure to look upon iniquity. Some of you niggas' eyes ain't pure. That's why you look on it. See, you know God don't dwell nowhere where sin at, right? So that's why he's separate. He ain't going nowhere around it. But see, some of y'all don't have no problem being where sin at, cause you worried about what these people gonna say to you. You worried about how they gonna look at you. See, I noticed it because I spoke to my old lady about it. She said, she come, and Mouse can back it up too, her sister can back it up. They come from a real close family. They talked all the time. They did stuff together all the time. You know what I'm saying? They did that a lot. And that'd be a hard thing when you deal with their word. You had to cut these people off. They grew up, they used to that. Now, I'll put it this way, my family ain't big in this city, but, really it was nobody but me, my mama, my sister, my auntie, and my cousin. That's all it was. That's all it was. Once auntie died, the children still see each other. My uncle didn't stay down here. But I love my people. And no matter how close I might have been with them, I've never been a nigga to hesitate to cut somebody off. It wouldn't bother me because I don't care. And it might sound rough. And it might sound mean. But my emotions is not going to be tied up in my decision making. A lot of y'all problem is y'all emotions are tied up in your decision making. That's why you can't make a sound choice. Because you worry about, I don't want to upset them. Oh, but I love them. I'm sitting back looking at, I love you. That's why I love you enough to leave you alone. See, I learned that from the street. Just growing up with the people I was around, because you got homeboy, I love these niggas, but this nigga's detrimental to me. You know what I'm saying? See, some of y'all got friends, but I got friends, we came up from the dirt together. You know what I'm saying? We were around each other every day. We from the same hood, same neighborhood, went to the same schools. We known each other 20 plus years. But as we were coming up, niggas sitting back looking at, I love this nigga, but I love this nigga enough not to be around him. Because being around him is going to be a detriment to me. Don't mean I don't love him. Don't mean if he's in need and I'm able, I'm not going to help him. I can't fool with him like that though. Because I could go to jail. I could get killed. Can't mess with him like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at this the same way as you looking at your soul. You can't get caught up and wrapped up in these people to the point where it could cause you to lose your salvation because you so worried about not displeasing somebody who is a sinner. I'm sitting there looking at, I'm going to be honest with you. Inherently, if you serve Yah and you work his perfect will, yes, you are better than a sinner. Does that mean you walk around with the attitude as if I'm better than you? No. But in y'all eyesight, you're better than them. Do y'all understand that? Do you not know if y'all look at one of his servants versus a sinner, who do you think y'all gonna justify and look to? The sinner? No, he gonna look to his servant. That don't mean that don't mean you walk around here and look at it, because then you be on that scribe and Pharisee territory when you look down on others, deeming yourself righteous and hating others. That's not what we telling you to do. We sitting here telling you when y'all look at a sinner and a saint, he gonna look to that saint. That saint is better than that sinner. That's bottom line. That is what it is. And if you want to be saved, you have to be able to separate yourself from these people, because y'all is not looking at these people, nor through these people. Like he told the king in 1 King 22, he said, man, if Jehoshaphat wasn't even here, man, I wouldn't look past you nor through you, because I don't even mess with you. You a transgressor. The only reason I'm showing you any type of mercy is because this man is here. That's it. That man say his face is against them that do evil. He said, but his ears are open to the prayers of the righteous. So don't that mean in the eyesight of y'all, a saint is greater than a sinner? So by product of you walking in the word, you are better than a sinner. I'm talking about if you're working in it in completion. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you better than them. So why would you be fooled up with people that God literally ain't looking through? I'm going to tell y'all something. Some of the reason why the Lord ain't killed some of y'all, because he chose you to be part of the congregation. It is sitting back here, be like this here. If it wasn't for this man I gave the word, I wouldn't even see you. I'd probably been done killed you. That's just being honest. I'd probably been done killed you. But he giving you an opportunity and space to get it together. Don't be no fool. I'm telling you, man, I know things, stuff come up. You find out I need to correct this, I need to correct that, I need to clean. That's why I know it's a process of this man showing you the thing you need to clean. But some of y'all been dealing with the same stuff for an extended period of time, and the man done showed you consistently that you need to stop doing it, and you still doing what you want to do. And as we were watching Fresh Prince earlier today, it's just outright defiance. That's what some of y'all live. Just outright defiance. I'm going to outright do what I want to do. I don't care what nobody say. Some of y'all got that attitude. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care what that chip tooth nigga say. I don't care what that word say. I'm going to do what I want to do. And just know you want to go to hell. With that type of mind, you have to want that. But we persuaded better things than that of y'all. See, we want to actually get you to the point where you shouldn't want to serve y'all just because you don't want to go to hell. You should do it because you love him. See, some of y'all doing it because you more motivated on going to hell. You don't want to go to hell versus you love this man. And that's why you're doing it. You believe him and you love him and you seek to please him. You have no desire to disappoint him. You understand what I'm telling you? You sit back and you look at, we could take Leah for example. Leah don't like to sit back and look and see one of us be disappointed in what she do. Just like when she was acting a fool when you were putting that shirt on and she looking at me. Don't look at me. You know what I'm talking about? She don't want you to be disappointed in what she's doing. Because you know what? That's that love I have for you. I don't want you to be upset with me. I don't want you to strike me. I don't want you to yell at me. I don't want you to tell me no. I want that reinforcement that my behavior is acceptable because I love you. You know what I'm talking about? And I want that love reciprocated back because my behavior reflects that I love you. She don't do what she's supposed to do out of I don't want to get beat. You know what I'm talking about? I do this because I love my mom, I love my dad, I love my uncle. See, we're supposed to get to the point where you ain't doing it, I don't want to go to hell. Because we know you shouldn't want to go to hell, and that's going to be a part of motivation of not doing certain things. You know what I'm talking about? But at the same time, you should want to do this because you love God. Because you got a love from your heart to say, of course I'm not going to do that. I love my God. I love my Father. I love my King. I'm not doing that. Then this stuff be a lot easier to do when you're doing it because it's from a place of love. But y'all ain't developed that yet. That's why you do the same stuff you be doing. Come on back around here to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 so I get ready to let y'all out of here. Y'all hear me though? So when we look at Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 about the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and the thing which is done is that which shall be done. And there's no new thing under the sun. So let's go look at Luke chapter 24 verse 44. So when we're looking at Ezekiel 18, when he said he gave his bread to the hungry, what you think that means? What Yahshua told you in Matthew chapter 5? Didn't he tell you, blessed are they which hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled? Didn't he tell you that his blood, his bread, his flesh was meat indeed? And that he was the bread that come down from heaven? And didn't he tell you that? So that means he gave his bread for the hungry, didn't he? Then he said he gave a garment to the naked. And we know what Revelation 16 and 15 say. Blessed are those that watch and keep their garment, that they see not their shame, that their nakedness don't appear. So he gave you a covering, he gave you a spirit. Because he said if a man be just and do that which is lawful and right. What I just asked for, Luma? What I just asked for? Did I say Luke chapter 24? Yes, I did. Verse 44. Luke 24 and 44. And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms, concerning me. Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scriptures. And he said unto them, thus it is written, And thus it behooved the Messiah to suffer and to rise from the dead the third day, and that repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. So when we look at Ecclesiastes chapter 1, read that, we sit back and see that. Is that not true? That which is done has already been done? That which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So everything that the men who became before the Messiah came, which he just referenced here in Luke 24, was that anything new under the sun? Did he come to do anything new under the sun? Everything that he did had already been done by the similitudes of the prophets, right? So there was nothing new under the sun. All he came to do was fulfill the book. He didn't come to do no new thing. He just came to fulfill the book from the beginning. Because that's what he just told you. That have been is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. That means the thing that had been. So you know what I take it back to? Back to Adam. So when we look at him taking dominion, giving it to Adam, then Yahshua got to come back, let me do the same thing. That's my reward for my labor. I got to give the debtor his pledge. His pledge was rulership and dominion, right? He say, son, you go down here and die. This is what I'm going to give you. He say, today thou art my son. I have begotten thee. Asking me, I'll give the heathen for thine inheritance. You shall rule over them with a rod of iron, break them into pieces with a potter's vessel. I'll give you that. And what did Yahshua turn around and tell you? He that overcome, I give him power to rule over the nations. He'll rule them with a rod of iron, break them into pieces as a potter's vessel. Even as I received of my Father, I give him the morning star. I'll give the debtor his pledge. Because when we come into the Messiah and say, we just like our forefathers, everything you said in Exodus 20, say everything you said we will do. So when we seeking to come into the Messiah, ain't we saying everything you told us to do, we will do? He said on a different word, he said, if you keep my in John 15, he said, if you keep my commandments, then you are my friends, not my servant. He said, I call you my friend, because everything I heard of my Father, I tell it to you. He said, you my friends, if you do, didn't it all? He said, you are my friend, if you do whatsoever I command you. I'm glad that you said that, because now we can swing it back to John chapter 8 and finish it. See how you got to look, see how it go right back to what we started back? Look back to Abraham, your father. He called Abraham his friend. Abraham did whatsoever y'all commanded him. Yahshua came and did whatsoever y'all commanded him, and he told you, you'll be my friend if you do whatsoever I command you out of faith, because the first thing that made Abraham y'all friend is Abraham believed. The reason why y'all didn't work the works of Abraham, you don't believe. John 8 and 37. I know that you are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me because my word had no place in you. But I speak that which I seen with my father, you do that which you seen with your father. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahshua said unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. So if y'all want to sit back here and talk about you Abraham's seed, and being Abraham's seed means you'll be the Messiah seed, why don't you do what Abraham did? Because Yahshua did. He sure did. Because he told him, get out from amongst your kindred and your father's house and go to the place which I shall choose. He separated himself. Y'all won't do that. That can't be for one other reason. Can't be Abraham's seed. Abraham knew it was Yah that gave him power to get wealth. You don't believe that? Can't be Abraham's seed. Abraham knew it was Yah that gave him that tread down his enemy. You don't believe that? Can't be Abraham's seed. Abraham taught his household justice and judgment in the way of Yah. You don't do that? Can't be Abraham's seed. Abraham believed in Yah, counted it to him for righteousness. You don't do that? Can't be Abraham's seed. Abraham kept my law, my statutes, and my commandment. You don't do that? Can't be Abraham's seed. Abraham paid tithes and all. You don't do that? Can't be Abraham's seed. He told Abraham, separate. He separated. He made Abraham a promise to the land. If you don't make prayers for Jerusalem, when you make supplication to Yah and you don't mention Jerusalem, which is the land he swore to Abraham, can't be Abraham's seed. Because Abraham's seed will have a desire to dwell in the land which he promised to Abraham. So, like, you got to sit back. Why you think the man tell you, look unto Abraham your father? Then we sit back and we look at Yahshua. Let's look at Yahshua. He paid tithes of all. How did he do that? When he rose from the dead, and then he offered 144,000, because he's not going to delay to offer the first right fruits, which would be his tenth, now would it? He gonna do what Abraham did. He told him, leave from amongst your father's house and your kindred. He left from the tabernacle of heaven and left from the angels to come down here. He told Abraham to walk through the land. In Luke chapter 13, Yahshua walked through the land, because this the land you promised me. I got to walk through it. I desire it. Why else will Yahshua cry over Jerusalem? This the land that he swore to my father Abraham. I love it just like Abraham loved it. He promised it to me. He said that his flesh rests in hope that he know he wouldn't suffer his co-everyone to see corruption. That means Yahshua believed y'all. So therefore he was counted righteous. Just like Abraham. A promise was made to him, he believed it. Just like he told him he'll make the dead in pledge. Didn't the father promise the seed unto Abraham? Did he not give it to him? So he restored that pledge. Did the same thing with Yahshua. Yahshua told Yahshua, I'll raise you from the dead. I'll give you the seed. I'll give you children. They'll be born in spirit. He believed that. He was showing up that you sit back and you look at Yahshua showing forth he Abraham's seed. Lord, we'll go because we're going to put that on tape, just showing the similitudes of Abraham and Yahshua. Because y'all got to sit back and realize you got to be like Abraham. See, he said if you be the Messiah, if you be Abraham's seed, you be the Messiah seed. So if the book tell you to look unto Abraham and Yahshua just told you to work, if you were Abraham's seed, you do the works of Abraham, and you ain't doing what Abraham did, guess what that means? You not the Messiah seed, mean you a bastard. You a child of the flesh, which means get that bondwoman from amongst them. They shall not be heir with my son. That's what the law say. Verse 40. But now you seek to kill me, a man that had told you the truth, which I heard of God. Is this did not Abraham? You do the deeds of your father. They said to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even God. Yahshua said unto them, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceed forth and come from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there's no truth in it. And when he speak a lie, he speak of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. Which of you convince me of a sin? And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? That go back to what we looked in Ezekiel 18 about. If you can find a sin, what wrong I did? Ain't that what what we were looking at? Ain't that what Samuel said? What sin I committed? What I do? Tell it to me right now. Who I owe? That's what Yahshua saying right now. Who I owe? That means he wasn't a debtor to none of us. We debtors to him. Why do you think he said, forgive those our debtors? Did he tell you that there? People who done trespassed against us, we were debtors to him. The Father was in debt to Yahshua, not because of any sin that Yahshua committed, but because of the promise he made to him. So he had to keep his word. I made a pledge to you, son. You go do this right here, I got this for you. He say, Father, you already know I'm with it. Isaiah told you that. They say, who gonna go for it? He say, send me. Send me. I'll do it. I'll do it. With bells on, gladly. That's what he told you in Hebrews chapter 3. He said it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren. That means he wanted to do it. I want to do that. I want to die. I'm willing to do that. I want to do that. So I can restore the pledge. He that is of God, hear God's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of God. Y'all be wondering why your people don't get on, or your friends. They not of God. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You know what? Come back to Ecclesiastes chapter 1. I'll show you why. You can't hear something if it ain't for you. I didn't want you to hear what Solomon said in Ecclesiastes 1. I just want you to read verse 15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. You can't make somebody a God that God don't want. If it's crooked, you can't make it straight. God got to do it. But if they not a God, they can't be made straight. Cause he just said if you're not a God, you're not gonna hear a word, right? So that means you crooked, which means you can't be made straight. Ain't nothing you can do. God got to do it. And if he don't want to make them straight, how you gonna stop it? Ezekiel 18. Y'all better start fooling with these people. I be telling y'all the best way to win these people is to live it. Y'all don't want to follow that advice. I guarantee you it'll work a lot better. If you just learn to shut your mouth and stop talking all the time and just practice what you're saying. Verse 9 of Ezekiel 18. He that have walked in my statutes, well, verse 8 actually. He have not given forth upon usury, neither have taken any increase, that have withdrawn his hand from any iniquity, have executed true judgment between man and man. I don't have the time right now. Lord will revisit it to show you how Yahshua executed true judgment between man and man. Have walked in my statutes and kept my judgments and deal truly. He is just. He shall surely live, saith Yah. We know Yahshua did all these things. He was truly just, now wasn't he? He surely lived. And don't you know if you repent and walk in the Messiah and be just, you will surely live? You will surely live. You will surely live. But that's good. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah for Yahshua. Y'all understood all these things. Well, praise the Lord. Get the Lord a round of applause. Well, get the Lord a round of applause. Thank the Lord.